Welcome back to the GTN Show. Now, Heather, I don't suppose you caught Lionel Sanders' little ride last week?
Who didn't?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Thanks to Lionel, we were all glued to our screens for 60 minutes as Lionel went after the Canadian cycling hour record, and he smashed it.
He certainly did. We're going to be looking at how that went down. We've also got announcements for the final wildcards from the PTO, plus an environmentally friendly initiative for sports events.
Yeah, and Heather's also going to be talking us through the Zwift Triathlon Academy that she's also taking part in this year. We've got a graphene Trisuit and tons of exciting racing for you.
What has been happening in the world of triathlon this week? Well, let's start things off with Lionel Sanders. He went and did it. He broke the Canadian 1 hour cycling record and he smashed it. He covered 51.3 kilometres in the 60 minutes allowed. That is 205 laps of the velodrome. And he broke the previous record that was held by Ed Field by 2.8 kilometres.
Yeah, well, he did obviously break the Canadian record, and whilst it was an amazing effort, he was still around 3.8 kilometres off Victor Campanet's 55.08 kilometres, which obviously is amazing, but that was set at altitude in Mexico. Now, Lionel obviously set these ambitions earlier this season when he realised actually triathlon racing this year wasn't really going to return to normal. Alongside this hour record ambition, he set the target of trying to set a new 5k PB, which he also did this week, or the week leading into the hour record attempt, and he went 14:34. So definitely showing that this guy's an absolute masterclass triathlete and multi-sport athlete.
Yeah, and it didn't even look good conditions for that run either. But I mean, it just makes you think, like, I love the fact he's still staying true to triathlon and doing that the same week as trying to break that record. But I wonder how close he could get if he had more time in the velodrome. You know, he's not that used to the bike, and he forgot about running, forgot about swimming.
And went to altitude.
Yeah, and went to altitude.
Yeah.
Could he challenge that?
I mean, I've got to be honest and open here. I watched some of his videos because I've thought this was absolutely brilliant. I really liked how he's documented it. And the last couple in the lead up to the hour record, I started to have some doubts whether he could do this because previously I was like, yeah, no problem. I think this guy's got it all sealed up. But when he started to talk about the bike and the issues he was having with the gearing and just getting used to a fixed gear bike, I started to worry for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a long, most track athletes will spend years and years to get into the position and
I know how they all talk about trying to follow that black line. It's so hard, and the fixed gearing and just the gearing itself. And I know Lionel was really struggling with the high cadence. They actually opted for a very unusual gearing that meant that he was riding at 90 RPM and below. But it worked really well for him, and he was really consistent with his pacing between something like 17.4 and 70.6 seconds per 250 metre lap for every single lap for the
And also, I guess the triathletes were so used to having numbers, and Lionel loves his numbers, doesn't he? That's what he rides to then not be allowed to have a bike computer. He's just got the Erin holding up a sign of, like, this is what time each lap was. So I think that makes it...
Yeah.
It could be exciting if COVID hangs around longer, which we hope it doesn't. I wonder if we could see him trying some more records.
Well, I think it's fair to say everyone in the triathlon community is saluting you, Lionel. Moving on, the PTO have announced their final wildcard slots for Challenge Daytona in December. Earlier last week, they announced Magnus Dietlev, Danielle Dingham, Rini Kindly and Sam Long.
Yeah, and then they have since then announced the final four that make up the final list. We've got James Kunnema, Chris Leferman, Simone Mitchell and Lucy Hoare. So it's going to be an exciting mix of ITU and long course athletes, and it's going to be a really big race that I think we can't wait to see.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see how the ITU athletes maybe attack that swim, get an advantage on the front, from the off, and then maybe seeing whether the long course athletes can catch them, if at all.
Yeah,
It's going to be really interesting.
Can't wait to see a big race. But talking of the PTO, they have just announced another 15,000 Australian dollars that they're putting into the Hervey Bay 100 try that's due to be held on the 15th of November over in Queensland, Australia.
Yeah, it's said that the Hervey Bay 100 triathlon is one of the most picturesque, or the most picturesque, Australian long course triathlons. As the name states, 100, it is 100 kilometres along the seafront, along the ocean front. It's 2k swim followed by an 80-kilometre bike and an 18-kilometre run.
Oh, it sounds delightful just to be in that sunshine and going along the beach.
And moving on, and as a channel, we are very conscious of our impact as humans on the planet and the environment. So we're really pleased to see that Kilian Jornet, the crazy adventurer, ultra runner, along with many other endurance athletes, have been sharing this new initiative. It's called Outdoor Friendly. It's basically a pledge to promote a more eco-practice of outdoor sports. So for instance, just reducing waste, using renewable energy, using more eco materials, all the way through to maybe refusing to take part in an event if it uses helicopters. And they actually state on their website, on the Outdoor Friendly website, it encourages people, brands and organisations to commit to what they feel ready for. So focus on 1, 5 or 10 commitments to work to and during each year. Small steps lead to big ones. So go check out their website. It's called outdoorfriendly.org. And yeah, I think it's fantastic.
Love that initiative. Well, talking of small steps and things supporting the environment, New Fred, who are the UK-based triathlon hub, have just teamed up with Souls for Souls, who take unwanted sports kit, shoes and clothing that's not been too warm but that's sat in your cupboard and you're not using, and then they basically redistribute that to entrepreneurs around the world, and they can then use those products to sell to sort of help support their family. But they also have another initiative which they're going to be using in the UK, where the manufacturers make so much kit that sadly some of it never gets sold even in the sales, and they're going to be taking those new products and donating them out to young people and athletes who maybe couldn't afford sports kit so they can do the sport, and they're going to be working closely with England Athletics and with some triathlon sort of outlets as well. So just another nice sort of give back initiative.
Moving on, many of you will have heard of the Barkley Marathons, hosted by Gary Lazarus Lake Cantrell. He's quite a character, and if you haven't watched the movie of the Barkley Marathons, I really do suggest it. It's a 100-mile race that you've got to complete within 60 hours over an incredibly tough terrain. To enter it, you've got to write an essay. I think it costs $1.20 to enter, and then you've got to arrive with a car registration or vehicle registration from your hometown or your area, along with whatever the organiser fancies that year. It could be a pair of white socks in size 9 or a flannel t-shirt in a large, and so many other quirks, including starting the race by lighting a cigarette. It goes on, really.
Yeah, and we love these unusual, unique ultra-style races. So Big's Backyard Ultra Quarter, right? It's another one of Lazarus Lake's events, held in Bell Buckle, Tennessee, which, I mean, that just sort of all goes with part of the theme, doesn't it? But this race, again, is unique. It's a loop of 4.167 miles, and the athletes basically have to complete one loop every hour. But it's until there's one man standing, and that person has completed more loops than anyone else. So this went on for quite a long time. It was won by Courtney Dahlwater. She completed 68 laps, so that's 68 hours. And I can't quite remember the maths. It was 283.33 miles, with basically I don't know how long it was taking her to do each lap, but with very little rest over that whole period. I mean, it's just insane.
I think that requires a mind-blown emoji on the screen right now.
I mean, she's an incredible athlete, but yes, hats off, and yeah, we love seeing those ultra events. Well, anyway, moving on, in other news, the Zwift Triathlon Academy starts tomorrow. It is back and we're very excited. So we're going to be covering it again, and I'm going to be taking part. Hopefully Mark and Fraser are going to be joining me on some sessions. But registration is open right now, so you can go and sign up, and then all the sessions will be there in your sort of training inbox on Zwift as of tomorrow.
I'll be there to support you, Heather. Maybe I'll just wipe the sweat off your forehead a couple of times. But are you feeling ready?
You're going to be doing the sessions, aren't you?
Yeah, I will be.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a great goal. I think a lot of us have missed goals this year. There's going to be 5 bike workouts, 5 run workouts, and then ultimately a race, a bike and a run race at the end.
I'll be on there.
You're going to do the race?
Yeah, maybe. I'll skip all the training. I'll try and see doing the races better.
Well, anyway, it's live now, and hopefully I will see you guys. And I really want everyone to get involved. So if you're planning on signing up, go and do it. But also let me know in the comment section below. We can all do it together.
And now on to some tech news, and if you've been trawling social media of late, you may have noticed this brand new and exciting race suit from Ryzon. It's called the Verge. It's an aero-sleeved tri-suit and actually builds upon their very popular Myth race suit. And actually it's the same suit that Jan Frodeno wore when he won and set a new record time at the Ironman World Champs in 2019. Now let's talk through some of the features in it, because it's got a microscopic elevated structure on the arms, the shoulders and the torso. That helps to reduce air resistance and also water resistance. The dark colour of the suit is apparently actually a conscious design feature called cold black, and that helps to basically dissipate heat from extreme sunlight. And then it's also got graphene in it.
Ooh.
Yeah, everyone loves a bit of graphene. It's called their Graphene Grid Flow Technology, GGT, and it basically helps to dissipate heat from the body over a larger surface area.
That's a lot of technology in one Trisuit there, isn't there? Well, it obviously worked pretty well for Jan in 2019, and those conditions was around 30 degrees Celsius and 60% humidity, so it shows how essential it is for those kind of races. Now, the less good news, I mean, with that amount of technology, probably not surprising it comes in with a fairly decent price tag, €599. And there's currently only 100 available. So it's almost a bit like a collector's item because it comes in a nice box and you have sort of the history and the insights into how it's been made with Jan. But I reckon those are going to be snapped up pretty quickly.
Yeah, and it's a very nice looking suit.
All right, we're going to kick off race news with the Great Floridian Triathlon. Now, this was a third distance, which sounds a little bizarre, doesn't it? But it was a 0.8-mile swim, a 40-mile bike, and a 9-mile run. And it attracted some pretty big names and turned into a rather good race. So the men's results, the men's race was won by Chris Leiferman, Bradley Weiss was second, and Ben Canute, don't know why I'm calling Benjamin, was third.
And on the women's side, we had Jenny Seymour taking the win. We had Lisa Baccaris going in second, and then Lenny Ramsey in third.
And then we also had the ITU European Cup in Barcelona over the weekend. And I'm delighted to say that we had a man on the ground. GTN's Maya was there watching and has very kindly given us a bit of a race report here.
Hello, Heather. Hello, Mark. I was lucky enough to be in Barcelona in this weekend's European Cup of triathlon. Really great fields, big fields, international. A lot of athletes racing again. It was good to see. We had two really exciting races, and first we started with the women. They were really nervous at the beginning, you could tell, and we saw a sprint finish. 200 to 150 meters before, and Michelle got dropped. A really great race by Michelle from Mexico, so good to see. And then we got the sprint finish by Matilde and Anna. And then Anna got faster time and Matilde second. But in the photo, it was Matilde in front of Anna. On the men's race, really big field. A lot of athletes, France, US, Norway, a lot of Spanish, Colombia, Chile. So really good to see. Big group on the swim. We got a really hectic first transition, but then Javier Gomez-Noya and Christian Blumenfeld were really perfect on point, and they got away on the bike. The two of them working together. Really fast ride by the two of them. So we saw Christian and Javier start running together all the way, the 2 laps of the race together, and we were waiting for a sprint finish. All the crowd, the Spanish crowd, was really looking forward, cheering, but Javier had to stop in the finish straight, the last 50 meters, because he got a penalty. We didn't know exactly why it was, but they later told us that it was because he put his bike not correctly on the rack. So it was really exciting to see, really sad that we didn't have the sprint finish we wanted, but it was a great race. So it was Christian Blumenfeld on first, Javier Gomez-Noya on second, and then Guustavv on third. Really great racing from the Norwegians, and we hope to see all of them in Valencia in 2 weeks.
All right, it is time to have a look at your photos, and to start us off, we have this great picture from Gregory. It's his Felt B14 on the turbo, and he says he's upgraded his pain cave with a projector to get Zwift off the laptop and onto the big screen, and that's taking big screen quite literally there, isn't it?
I like that. Yes, it's taking virtual reality up another level.
It's going to help with those winter miles on the turbo for sure.
Brilliant. Next one sent in from Peter. He has just done a virtual Ironman, and now he has done a marathon along the coastline in Eastbourne in the UK. It is called the Beachy Head Marathon. It's got over 4,000 feet of elevation, and I mean, it just looks absolutely stunning. And there he is, looking rather chuffed at the end with his medal alongside.
Yeah, that's a chunky old event with that amount of climbing, isn't it? Our next one, we're going back indoors for this photo. It's from Matt, and it's his Cervelo P3. He's in Nashville, Tennessee, and he says it's his pain cave with a city view, and it's quite a cool, modern looking pain cave, and he's even got the mirror there in front to, I guess, just sort of check on his position every now and then. And is that, and he's watching something on the big screen, is that Fraser? I think, if you look closely.
I think that is.
It's
me.
Oh, it's you. So
oh,
well.
God.
Great stuff. We love the setup anyway.
Brilliant. And next one is from Enrique, and this is from Switzerland. And I've put this one in because it's something that I've actually been enjoying lately, and he's gone exploring on his mountain bike, which I've been doing a lot of lately. And he has basically gone between Zurich and Geneva. It's something he's wanted to do for ages. It's just shy of 300k, or at least the route he has planned out is. And he's done this all on his mountain bike over 4 days. He said his itinerary was Zurich, Solothurn, Bern, I don't know how you say this, Newcastle. Oh, that's terrible.
Keep going.
Lausanne. and then to Geneva, obviously. He said he really enjoyed it despite the wind gusts and the rain. Definitely recommend to anyone who is willing to observe the beauty of the Swiss landscapes.
Beautiful.
Okay, now time for the caption comp, and start with last week's photo, which was from the Yazakina World Cup, and a very colourful photo of the start here in the swim. John Frampton said, last swim before knockdown.
Lisa Peck, cold shock proteins on splash sale.
And a couple of great ones here. Lucas Hickey said, United Colours of Triathlon 2020.
Yeah, and it was really close actually to decide between that one, but you are our final runner-up. The winner is Barek with the world's toughest paint by numbers.
Which is quite,
it could entertain you. If that was a paint by numbers or a puzzle, that would entertain you through COVID, wouldn't it?
I'm going to make that a Christmas puzzle, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's very sad, isn't it? A triathlon Christmas puzzle. But anyway, now for this week's caption comp photo, and we couldn't help but get a photo of Lionel from his Canadian hour record. This is courtesy of Talbot Cox, so thank you for the photo. And we just quite like this one because it looks, well, it's just quite odd, isn't it? Yeah. Lionel with an aero helmet on in front of a microphone as if he's about to sing a song.
I think he looks like he's got stage fright too. But anyway, let us know what you guys think. Give us your suggestions in the comments section below.
But that rounds out the show for this week. We've got a ton of great content coming up on the channel, including Heather's video about the Zwift Triathlon Academy and her enrolling for it herself, as well as a Halloween special. Don't forget though, we do have our GTN shop that you can go on over and check out, and you can get hold of t-shirts like Heather and myself are wearing today.
Yeah, and don't forget to give us a like if you've enjoyed this video, and you can subscribe to us by just clicking the globe on screen. And a couple of videos you might want to take a look at are rather epic: man versus horse, or I should say Mark versus Frankly, the horse I was riding. Go and check that one out. We've also got a video on how to sprint freestyle faster.